Okay.
Road trips. Aren't they a great way to get out there and see the world? Yeah? All right. My sister and my fiance and I went out to go to Washington to go see my brother before he deployed this fall. And so my sister lives in Mississippi, and we started off our road trip from there. We decided to take turns driving. About 5 hours, didn't have to stop along the way, and everyone got an efficient amount of sleep. And then it turns out it was my turn to drive next, and my sister had been driving for a little bit, and we had just gotten to the plains, and it was just exponentially colder up there versus down in Mississippi. Next thing you know, I had just woken up from kind of being asleep, and I hear my sister all frantic, and she started cursing, and we started spinning out of control. Next thing you know, we hit the median and we flip over a couple times. I had just then realized that we had gotten into a car accident, and if it weren't for the snow, it wouldn't have cushioned our fall. So the vehicle was okay, and we tried to get out, and that was my first accident. So I was very frantic, and I was trying to get out, and I was trying to open the door while it was locked, and my sister was like, "It's locked, you idiot." And then we ended up making out okay. We couldn't really grab much because it was on its side, and another girl had spun into the median, and she let us sit in our car while we waited for the police. And it took them a little bit to get there. About an hour or so, they finally got everything, flipped our car over, the tow truck came, and they took us to the hotel that was nearby. We told the girl about our incident that happened because we were all kind of raggedy looking and dirt all over our clothes. We had called the insurance company next morning to get everything settled in a car so we could can continue our trip. She felt so bad for us, the girl at the hotel. She had let us stay in our room for free, which was really cool. So we ended up getting a lift over to the Enterprise because we were told everything should work out, and then we had to hurry because the tow truck people were closed that day because it was Friday when it happened and it ended up being Saturday, so we had to hurry up because they were only going to let us in for a certain amount of time. We get to the Enterprise and we see all these cars there, and we get really excited because we're like, yeah, we're going to continue our trip and head on our way. Everything kind of worked out smoothly, and then we get to the desk, and it turns out that they had run out all the cars for the day and the next couple days. So it turns out we're going to be stranded in South Dakota in Sioux City, and we didn't know what to do because we didn't have anyone there. We only had a limited amount of money and time, and we were kind of just in disbelief and really stressed out because we had to get our stuff too on top of that. And we just kind of called our insurance company, asked them to get another place. There weren't any other Enterprises or rent-a-car places except the airport. And then the guy comes up to us and he's like, "Hey, I think I found something out for you guys to get you a car." Turns out he got a rent-a-car from the airport, and normally there's airport tax on top of it. It's like plus 8% interest on top of regular tax, so it's like almost 14%, and it's ridiculous. So we didn't end up having to pay for that, and he was nice enough to drive us there in the meanwhile. And we get our car, and turns out it was 4-wheel drive, so we were safe for the rest of our journey because it was snowing for most of the time. And ultimately, we had a really great trip after all. We ended up seeing my brother, and we went horseback riding Mount Rainier. My boyfriend proposed to me, and we saw Seattle. And now I want to trade this memory for the world, even though we got in kind of a hassle there. Like Helen Keller said, life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all.